Namibia criticizes Germany's support for Israel in ICJ genocide case. Berlin and Windhoek clash over accusations of Israeli atrocities in Gaza as South Africa seeks International Court of Justice intervention. A diplomatic dispute has erupted between Namibia and Germany following the latter's decision to intervene on behalf of Israel in a case brought before the International Court of Justice, ICJ. South Africa, citing concerns about Israeli actions in Gaza, lodged a complaint at the ICJ alleging potential violations of the United Nations Convention on the Prevention and Punishment of the Crime of Genocide. Namibia, a former German colony, expressed sharp disapproval of Berlin's stance. President Hage Geingob urged Germany to reconsider its untimely decision, citing the historical parallels between the alleged Israeli actions and Germany's own brutal colonial past in Namibia, where over 70,000 Herero and Nama people were massacred between 1904 and 1908. Germany cannot morally express commitment to the UN Genocide Convention, including atonement for the genocide in Namibia, whilst supporting the equivalent of a Holocaust and genocide in Gaza, Geingob stated. Germany, however, vehemently rejected the accusation of political instrumentalization of the Genocide Convention. The German government emphasized its historical responsibility to combat genocide, stemming from the Holocaust, and asserted that Israel's actions in Gaza were legitimate self-defense against Hamas missile attacks and infiltration attempts. South Africa's case at the ICJ details a litany of alleged Israeli offenses, including civilian casualties, infrastructure destruction, and collective punishment measures. Israel, in turn, dismisses the accusations as baseless, arguing that Hamas instigated the conflict and deliberately targets Israeli civilians. The ICJ faces a complex task in navigating this politically charged case. Determining whether Israeli actions constitute genocide, as defined by the Convention, hinges on a painstaking legal analysis of intent, scale, and specific acts. International observers await the court's eventual ruling with trepidation, anticipating its potential impact on the already volatile Israeli-Palestinian conflict and wider regional stability. However, there is an emerging pattern among richer nations which casts serious doubts if the ICJ could rule against Israel, backed by the USA, who has described South Africa's case as having no merit. Meanwhile, David Cameron, the British Foreign Secretary, described South Africa's case as nonsense, but at the same time seeing merit in the court's conviction over Putin. This double standards is dividing the global north and south further. Historical context. Between 1904 and 1908, German colonial forces engaged in a brutal campaign of suppression against the Herero and Nama peoples, resulting in their systematic deportation, forced labor, and mass killings, estimated to account for up to 80% of their populations. Only in 2021 did Germany formally acknowledge the atrocities as genocide and commit to providing financial reparations. Israeli-Palestinian conflict. The ongoing conflict between Israel and the Palestinians dates back decades, encompassing multiple wars, civilian uprisings, and ongoing territorial disputes. Hamas controls the Gaza Strip and has engaged in rocket attacks against Israel, while Israeli military operations in Gaza have resulted in significant civilian casualties, killing over 24,000 innocent civilians. Accusations of genocide carry tremendous weight. Applying the Convention's legal definition to contemporary conflicts requires careful consideration of intent, scale, and specific acts, avoiding politicization and ensuring adherence to international legal standards. Holding nations accountable for past genocides like the Herero and Nama genocide in Namibia is crucial for ensuring justice and reconciliation. However, drawing historical parallels to current conflicts like the Israeli-Palestinian situation necessitates sensitivity and nuance to avoid oversimplification. Kilimanjaro News Network would like to hear from you directly. Join the conversation. Do you think Namibia is right to criticize Germany? Do you think the ICJ is rigged in favor of richer countries? Let the conversation begin. Send us your messages. Remember to like, share, and subscribe to Kilimanjaro News Network, the authentic voice of Africa. Kilimanjaro News Network broadcasts in Swahili, Arabic, English, and French.